clean and jerk and snatch?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people started with snatch and then went to clean and jerk.
Yeah. Just couldn't keep that cycle rate up with the snatch, and it was going to be too hard.
Right. Well, I mean, snatching is easier. I saw a lot of people out there saying, "Oh, do clean and jerks to keep your heart rate down." Like, that's not what's
a horrible
gonna happen.
idea.
Like,
yeah.
You know, if you're doing the thing that the clean and jerk helps with is just straight up strength. Like, if you're not strong, I would say if you can't snatch twice that weight, right?
Yeah.
If you can't snatch twice that weight, then probably clean and jerks is going to be better because the snatch is just too much work and your technique's going to erode.
Yeah.
And then you're going to get inefficient. But if you're strong, snatching is way easier. Like
Right.
there's only one jump instead of two.
Right.
It takes less time. You know, the range of motion for the barbell is shorter.
Right.
So I think it's much easier. So if you can snatch, you should snatch.
Right. Well, the other thing too is when you catch in that front rack position, maintaining a good midline when you're holding a front rack is harder than when you have it overhead and stacked, directly overhead.
Yeah.
You kind of almost can relax just for a split second there. Where in the front rack, it's like you can't relax unless you let your hips sag forward, and that's not at all what you'd want to do in a workout like that, or any workout for that matter.
And not only that, most people are going to be going from the front rack to overhead back to the front rack. So they're hitting themselves twice.
Right.
Whereas on snatch, you never touch that front rack.
No.
So people, they went to the clean and jerk, and I saw a lot of them go back to the snatch.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, that's not easier.
We even had some of our good athletes do that.
Yeah.
So I had Jay is one of my coaches and a great barbell cycler, especially those lighter and mid-range weights. And I saw him snatching, and then at one round he did 4 snatches, and then he did 4 clean and jerks, and there was never a clean and jerk in the rest of the workout. He's like, I'm over that. It was round 6 or so.
Right. And the other thing, especially with that being paired with a burpee, burpee and clean and jerk are a lot more similar than burpee and snatch.
Yeah.
So you're pushing up off the thing. It's the same thing as doing a elbows in clean and jerk. I just didn't see. I thought that was a misleading strategy tactic.
Yeah.
That was being put out there by a lot of different coaches. So I said, unless your snatch is just really a weak lift, then you should be snatching it.
Yeah, you have a shoulder issue, or you just like the terrible mobility or something like that.
Or like if you can, your snatch is 105 as a female, right? Then you're not strong enough to snatch 65, 80 times, or 70 times, or however many times you're going to get it. But if you can snatch 120,
right,
you should be snatching.
Right. Cycle.
Like you're not saving your heart rate by doing clean and jerks.
No. 100 bar facing burpees is always 100 bar facing burpees. Like that's going to be hard if you do it at a high rate, no matter what.
Right. I'm doing that once a week now. I don't care.
100 bar facing burpees.
Yeah. Okay. Once a week, just as a warm up. Doing it. Got to be done under 10 minutes.
All right. So like an average of 10 every minute on the minute.
Right, but I'm gonna do it faster. Yeah. I did it with Jen.
9:30.
Under 8.
Okay.
But yeah, it's hard. It's always hard. It's always so effective, and you're pouring sweat and you're just uncomfortable.
I've done this weird thing with bar facing burpees. I've done it to the competitors, and I haven't done it yet this year as we're prepping for nothing in a lot of ways.
Right.
Except for just elite fitness. And I told all them, I said, one thing you want to do is, if you love the sport, is continue to train hard, because opportunities open up, right? Like the NorCal Classic, and if you're ready, you're good to go. But if you're like, I can finally start training again, once something's on the calendar, you're gonna get beat by everybody else who's not. But anyway, one thing I like to do with them is it's 10 bar facing burpees, right? Every minute on the minute for 10 minutes.
Right.
Solid, right? It's a good warm up. Yeah. And then when you land on the 10th one, you literally cannot move your feet at all, your hands at all.
Until the next minute.
You can't bend over and put your hands on your legs. You just have to literally stand there and breathe through your nose for the remainder of the minute. So you do 10 bar facing burpees every minute of the minute, and then with a standstill and nose breathing for your recovery. And that actually gets really mental on people. They're like, what is wrong right now? I feel like I want to freak out. I'm like, hey, we're just learning how to stay calm under pressure, And so it doesn't really work. It's just one more thing to think about, so we can be inside our own head while we're recovering.